I'm going to start by giving some context so you know what the game was. My first Steam game is a classic roguelike called Beast Dungeon, and I wrote it in a few weeks break from working on a larger project, my first big game, Into the Inferno. I started with an asset, and most of the work was customization. It wasn't initially planned, but I stumbled across a template and felt like it was something I could turn into a real game quickly, and then publish it to learn how the Steam publishing process works, so I grabbed it and went to work. I spent 2 weeks full-time on it, and then gave it to my 9-year-old daughter-in-law to play with while working on setting up a Steam page. I watched her playing it, and over the course of another week or so, made some changes based on that. She found the initial version frustrating and not very fun, and found the revised version enjoyable, so that was a solid result. I also put it up on itch for a few friends to try out, and made changes based on their feedback. Thanks friends, especially Tim and Dean. I did no real promotion beyond a couple social media posts with new accounts that had no following, and the Steam page was up for less than a month when it launched. The game did not participate in a Next Fest and had 34 wishlists when it launched. I priced it at the princely sum of $5. It sold a few copies at launch and a few more each Steam sale, with discounts going as high as 30%. I updated a few times, including a post-launch style overhaul for the UI. So without further yammering, here are the results. I sold $131 net, which results in $91 after Steam's cut. So the $100 listing fee was not only not recouped, but not covered. 37 units sold, 4 retail units, which were just things I gifted, 6 units returned, 16.2% return rate, high but not insanely high. It has 322 outstanding wish lists, 14 minutes median time played, which is pretty terrible. 32 of the 41 people who own copies have actually played it, with 0 of them giving reviews. Honestly, I wish someone would review it, even if it's negative, but now it's just crickets. In any case, it's completely invisible to the Steam algorithm. I also released the soundtrack, which only has 3 songs, for $1. As a bonus, here's the data for that. $3 net sold, with 5 lifetime Steam units and 1 unit returned, which makes a return rate of 20%, which is high, but the data is not statistically significant. So that's an extra $2 in my pocket for releasing the soundtrack, which didn't cost extra because soundtracks are a part of the main Steam fee. Was it a success? Well, almost anyone would say no. Ultimately, whether something is successful or not depends on your goals. This release reached the 2 goals I was going for. The first is that I published a game on Steam and got at least one person to pay for it. As a learning experience, it was incredible, and I was able to publish my next game without freaking out about the process. I also figured out the process of releasing a soundtrack, and at least one person bought it. And the second is that with a published product, I became a real game developer, so to say. I've never been one to suffer from imposter syndrome, but there's a real tangible thing that I can point to and say, yes, I did it. In this field, there are so many hobbyists and dreamers who haven't done that, so it's a pretty important first step. Moreover, in the process, I created all of the various social media accounts, a website, and all of the things that let you start building an audience and followers. There was no big splash, but starting the next project from 5 followers is still better than starting from 0. Now financially, it was a total failure. I think Beast Dungeon is fun to work on, so I wouldn't be surprised if I continue updating it once or twice a year for the foreseeable future. It's not paying any bills, and won't be no matter what I do with it, but that wasn't the point. The monster AI and behavior isn't very interesting or varied, so there's plenty of room to play with that. In any case, thank you to anyone who gave the game a try. And to the people who whine about clogging the store with amateur slop, I just simply shrug. Their opinion does not matter to me at all. If they care so much, buy the game and leave a negative review. Steam's algorithms already handle visibility effectively on their own. To those of you afraid of launching your first game, go for it. I bet you can do better than me. I virtually guarantee it. Thanks for watching.